Hello, I am Sifu Matt Lobio, and I'm here to present to you which I believe to be the 6th video on my Chinese martial arts series on the art of Hsing. Before I go any further, I feel it's a little bit important, if not imperative, to try to preface this video with some certain key titles or quotes, if you will. I'm sorry, and also references that you'll hear me using throughout the series. You've heard me introduce myself time and time again, and also in my previous video series on the Chinese martial art of Qinna, which is the ancient Chinese art of grappling, with the title and rank of Sifu. What exactly is Sifu, which is spelled S-I-F-U? Sifu can pretty much be translated pretty much as teacher or instructor, if you will. In the Chinese martial arts, it's interesting to note, there is a very big family type of feeling, or camaraderie, so to speak, where the male teacher has almost like a father type of like a role for that particular Kwun, which is spelled K-W-O-O-N. Kwun is the Chinese word, the Chinese Mandarin word, I believe, for a Chinese martial arts school. Not a regular school in education, but a school of martial arts. But basically, that's what it pretty much translates into as teacher or instructor, Sifu. It also can be pronounced with a diphthong in the prefix of the word. Instead of Sifu, S-I-F-U, it could be also spelled S-H-I-F-U, Shifu. Call it what you will. Alright, on this video, I will be showing you now the Qi cultivation and health aspect of the water element, also known as the drilling fist form. Again, I'm only going to go briefly over the form, as I showed and demonstrated on the 5th video, the previous video here. So therefore, I'll show you the Qi aspect. Unfortunately, due to I'm losing a little bit of daylight, and also it's getting late, unfortunately, I apologize. I'll have to go a little bit quicker. But I'll show you the key movements and also breath control as well. Here we go, the water element form, also known as the drilling fist. And there we go. Once again, the water element form. Therefore, since I've shown you, hopefully if you've been paying attention to me thus far in this series of mine, with the previous video where I showed how to do the water element or drilling fist form, now I'm going to show you the Qi cultivation and proper breath control for mental focus and clarity, and also for health benefits as well, and also Qi cultivation. Now, we'll start off pretty much right here from the Ping Tian Bo, and again, as mentioned before, in other Hsing schools or practitioners, they will commonly affectionately refer to this particular stance or posture as the Santi Shibu, or the 3 foundation stance, or 3 pillar stance, 3 power stance, whatever you wish to term and call it. But to make life easier, we're just going to call this the Ping Tian Bo, or the middle element stance, or metal stance. And from here, when I do the form, now we're going to do the breath control. And as I mentioned before again, just worry about breath control. Breathe in through the nose, and then exhale out through the mouth. Not too egregious, not too loud, and then you don't need to do that. That's going a little bit too far. Just nice, easy. Breath in, and then exhale very gently. Doesn't have to be too hard, doesn't have to be too gruff. By the way, just to let you know, with the water element or the drilling fist form, this will help strengthen your kidneys and your bladder. That's the health benefits for the water element or drilling fist form. Now, again, remember I mentioned before when doing the form. Again, in this case, I'm gathering up the Qi, or in this case, almost like if it were like a water, like I'm gathering a water from a wave coming in from the ocean if I'm on the shore. And of course, you wouldn't need to, because the waves usually are pretty strong and they can knock you off. But I'm just using it as a reference, as a metaphor. I'm gathering up the water, I'm gathering up energy and Qi, and then I'm going to take a step. I'm in the cat stance. Unfortunately, you can't see too well, but you notice here, and then step forward. Now from here, as I gather up the Qi, which mind you, with my different Shingi schools and Shingi instructors and teachers that I've had over the years, each one had their own unique different type of brand of how to do the water element. For example, Lao Shi or Grandmaster James McNeil, when he would do his version of the water element, he called it the water element form. I call it the drilling fist. But also, I'm sorry, both water element and drilling fist form. What he would do is this. He would step forward slightly with his foot, his front foot almost going to the corner, and his hand would be like this. Would be like this, focusing on the hand. And then from here, he would grab, pull back, and step forward. He'd be reaching out here. He'd be focusing, grab, and he'd be reaching out like this. So you see, from each Shingi school and instructor and teacher, it's the same art, but it's conveyed differently. But again, the main goal, chi cultivation. But for now, this is the way that I go with. This is the one I slightly came up with on my own. I do have like a Sifu Gerald A. Sharp that thank for this particular type of reference, if you will. But Sifu Sharp, he did something differently where I believe memory serves correct. He would do like a rolling bar type of thing with his arm, where he'd go like this and come out here like this. I don't do that. I bring it in closer to me, and I like to cup my hand. Sometimes you'll see me do like a fist like that, probably thanks to my training with Sifu Sharp. But just for like to make things easier, you can cup your hand, makes things easier. If you want to close your fist, great. I'm gonna cup the hand, gather the energy, gather the chi, and step forward gently, and punch out. But before we do, this is where like the breath control comes in. Again, Ping Tian Bo. Gather the energy, and I'm gonna be looking at my hand. It doesn't matter what part. It could be the palm. It could be like the fingertips. It could be the whole hand. Doesn't matter. From here, I'm gonna gather up the chi, and I'm gonna breathe in. Exhale. In. Exhale. In. Breathe in. Exhale in through the nose, and exhale through the mouth 3 times, just like the other form, just like the metal element or the splitting fist form. And then step out. And if you notice when I do this particular aspect of this form, unlike the previous one where I tend to be a little bit more harder, a little bit more gruffer for a combative purpose, and this one, remember, this is for chi cultivation, so we're going to go a little bit easier, not so hard. Almost like a meditation, if you will, a moving meditation, similar to Tai Chi in a way. And then from here, gather the energy. In, out, in, second time, out, and last time, in and out 3rd time, and step forward and do the drilling fist. And remember, like in all previous forms, even though this one is more, if you will, for chi cultivation and health benefit, we still want to have slightly a little bit of the self-defense aspect, because like, it doesn't make sense to only to not have like the related martial arts or the combative part of any part of the aspect of Shingi or any martial art, in my particular opinion. So in other words, I'm not just going to foolishly just turn around and do this motion. No. Remember, like in the previous version, look first, block. And then notice when I block up, I don't do this cultivation thing. I do it maybe a little bit slightly and just step forward. That's enough for the previous form and also for the health aspect. So again, look first, block, slightly can cup if you want or whatever. It doesn't matter how you feel comfortable with. You can just do the motion and then punch forward for the chi cultivation, the health aspect, not for the self-defense version. In, step forward. Cultivate. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 with the breathing in and out, and step forward. Turn, block, punch, and then we'll end the form right here. Notice when I do the form, it may seem like I'm a little bit stifled, like my shoulders may up a little bit, or my head's like that, a little bit like that. No, you don't want that. Notice when I turned, I blocked, and I step forward. Shoulders are relaxed. Remember, chest is sunk, shoulders are curved, arms are curved. The back, it may seem like it's a little bit too stiff, but it's slightly curved to go with the natural curvature of the spinal column. That's especially important because we want a natural feel. We're not trying to do like a military cadence where we're standing up like this and shoulders back and head up. That's the last thing we want. It defeats the purpose of practicing any internal martial art, especially Shingi. So here, punch, and then we finish the form. And that's pretty much it. Again, to reiterate, water element strengthens the kidneys and the bladder. That's the health aspect of it. Practice this form as much as possible, not just the destructive side, but especially the creative, or rather the health benefit and chi cultivation aspect as well. Please leave any comments. I welcome any and all, and likes as well. I welcome all, positive and negative, and I wish you the best of luck in your training. Until then, take care of yourself and all you know.